The first card you have for your past is death. Yeah, so I'm seeing this is about finally coming to a reality, finally coming to a realization about something. I'm seeing this could be about, it's a bit confusing actually. I mean, it could be about a love situation I'm seeing, but I'm seeing this person might not have even been around you. You might not have been even with them or together or something like that. It was something that you might have had in your heart. You might have held someone in your heart for a long time, and then you decided you would just let this go. I'm seeing that you probably had hope for this person, that they'd come back, or they'd come back to you or something for a while. You were kind of holding on to this. It wasn't like you were desperately crazy about this person, thought about them all the time, but you still had them a little bit there, and you still weren't able to quite fully let go of this person 100%. You still had them kind of there. You were thinking about them a lot, hoping a little bit that they'd come back, all of that kind of thing. Probably just in the back of your mind or in the back of your heart. And I think you were connected to this person for a long time, a very, very long time in some way. Even when you weren't together with them, you had this kind of connection. Now, I am seeing some kind of on and off thing going on. Maybe you're together and you broke up, and maybe you're together again and broke up. And I think at this time you weren't actually together or even around them. I think you might have still been in some kind of little contact with them or something like that. I'm not sure about that, but there was something that was kind of keeping you linked to them. And I think there were times in your more distant past where you might have said, right, that's it, I'm moving on from this, in your head. But your heart wasn't able to follow. You kind of still kept on thinking about them. You still kept on kind of feeling things for them. It was that kind of thing. You couldn't quite let them go, even though you did try in the past. And, this is why I'm really confused about this, because this is really unusual for Aries. Usually when Aries are finished with someone or finished with something, or they've had enough, they're really, really finished. That's it with Aries. Usually when Aries, are done, they're done. And, especially when, you move on quickly. You move on quickly from people if you're not happy. Not that you kind of forget about people, but especially when they've done something to you, you move on, or you kind of decide, right, that's it, and that's enough. But I think this person was, I know I'm rambling, I'm not making a lot of sense, but I'm trying to kind of make sense of this, because what I'm seeing is a contradiction to what you normally do. So maybe this was a very, very different person. There was something about this person that was very different for you. Because usually you move on, and you couldn't move on from this person in your heart. You just couldn't stop thinking about this person. That's what I'm seeing for a long, long, long time. And that's very different for you. So there was something very different about this person. But, you at this time in the death card, you suddenly felt very different. Maybe not suddenly, but you did feel very different now. And I think, you were ready to move on at this time, in your heart as well as your head. And I think, you had a lot of things you were planning. You had a lot to focus on in your future. But I'm not seeing any real reason why this was the time you were moving on. It wasn't like it was triggered by anything. It's not like they said anything terrible, or you heard anything, or anything happened. And it's not like you met another person or whatever. It's just like you had this kind of shift inside yourself. And I'm just seeing this, feeling. You just felt different. Everything felt a bit different. That's what I'm seeing. And I hope you understand what I mean. It's kind of like, if you've ever been away on holiday, or what you call vacation, you go away, you wake up in a new place, and you feel different. You feel like, oh, I'm in a different place. This all feels so different to me. That's how you were feeling at this time. You're just feeling very different. And that's kind of what started this shift for you. That's what I'm seeing. I hope that makes sense for you. The next card you have for your past is the Fool. So yes, here you are. You're ready to move on. You're ready to move on to new things. And not just in relationships, but I'm seeing you. I think you were kind of quite interested in work and business at this time. You were looking for new opportunities for yourself. I'm actually seeing you expanding on something, expanding on an idea maybe that you already had. It might be an idea for a business, or it might be a side business, something like that. It was something that was to you, personal to you. And branching out into new areas or something like that. I'm not even seeing you having the time or the space in your head for love at this time. But this isn't why you were moving on. It wasn't like you were busy and you kind of wanted to concentrate on that. You're always busy. This was just a shift that went on. It was like in a mental, it was like in a mental, what's in a mental? It was like a mental shift and an emotional shift. That's why I'm sick, because I'm trying to say mental and emotional and I'm getting the words mixed up. So it turned into a mentional. Yes. So I'm sorry. I'll stop being crazy. This is a big thing that's happening to you and I'm kind of being silly. So, okay, so this big thing that you're kind of branching out into and thinking about, I'm seeing this is probably something that was a little bit unusual, something a little bit different or something like that, because I'm seeing a lot of people not really understanding this. And I'm seeing you might have been keeping things quiet about this or just not saying very much about this. I think people in your past might have called you a fool before, is what I'm seeing. Maybe not in those words, but they might have called you a fool or tried to discourage you from doing things in your past. But, you know, if someone tells you not to do something, it's like a red rag to a bull to you. You just do it. You know, if your mind's made up, nobody can stop you. Just go and do it. But that doesn't mean you're totally sure of yourself. I think there could have been a little voice inside yourself, because this is what I always say with you, Aries, and a lot of people don't see that, is that on the outside you look brave and bold, you can take on anything and do whatever you like, but on the inside you have a lot of worries, you have a lot of fears inside yourself. And so I think you could have been thinking inside your head, am I a fool? Am I doing the right thing? I don't know if this is right. I want to go and do this. My head's saying, do this, and my heart wants to do it too, but I just have these fears. I don't know if this is what I should do. What am I going to do? So that's kind of inside yourself. That's what I'm seeing. You might have even been waking up in the night thinking about this, worrying about what you're going to do. Now, obviously, you weren't showing this to people. You weren't showing people that you were worried, but you did have this inside yourself. You did have this. That's what I'm seeing. So yes, the last card you have your past is the Hierophant. So yeah, the Hierophant can be about a lot of different things, but I'm seeing this could be about structured ways of thinking, like organized systems, like organized religions, organized schools, institutions, things like that. And kind of going along with the right thing, going along with the rules. It's like we all go along with the same rules. It's exactly the thing that I kind of rebel against. I can't bear all of these rules. I have to kind of mess them up. That's just me. But yes, the Hierophant can be about a lot of things. But again, I'm seeing you going against family, or maybe going against people from your past who you just knew wouldn't understand what you were doing. And I think, if they had anything to say, you weren't listening to them. They might have been saying, oh, you don't know what you're doing, you don't know what you're doing. And, you weren't listening to them. If you look at the Hierophant, he has his ears covered. So you had your ears covered, excuse me, to these people. But on the inside, you might have been thinking, maybe they're right. Maybe they're right. I don't know. Because, excuse me, I'm sorry about that. Because, you were brave on the outside, but innocent and vulnerable on the inside. That's what I'm trying to say. That's how you were feeling. I'm trying to kind of give you an example of how I'm seeing you feeling at this time. Because, if you look at the Hierophant again, he's wearing red on the outside, representing passion, boldness, whatever. And on the inside, he's wearing white on the inside, which can represent innocence, vulnerability, all of that kind of thing. I'm also seeing this sort of separation between you and some family members or people who you grew up with, because maybe you've gradually moved away from some kind of organized religion or some parts of it, or something that was an old belief system that your family believed in, and you were moving more towards spirituality. I'm not sure if you were kind of fully aware of this yet, or you were kind of aware that you're on this enlightened path, but you're actually on this path whether you realized it or not. You're on a different spiritual path than you were when you were growing up. That's what I'm seeing. And yeah, again, things were feeling different for you, so it was all a part of the same thing. It was all a part of the same thing. That's what I'm seeing. You're really changing. The first card you have for your present is the Six of Swords. Excuse me, sorry about that. So yes, again, you're definitely moving on. You're moving on from someone and you're moving into better things, definitely. I'm actually seeing someone from your past, a different person, not this person in the Death card. This is another person. This might be a different ex again, or someone who you used to be involved with or see, or something like that. I think that they might be trying to talk to you again. And they might just be sending you little texts, little messages, asking you how you are. And they might, because I keep on seeing these little messages, little things, a couple of words or something like that, and phones pinging, little texts. I'm getting this feeling that, you're not angry with this person, you're not upset with this person. It's not like they're an ex that you think, oh, I hate them, I don't want to see them ever again. It's not like that. But you still don't want to be with them. You don't want to go backwards. That's the main thing. You really just don't want to go backwards. You're just moving forwards with so many things in your life right now. And you just want to keep on moving forward with everything. I think you just want to feel new. You just want to feel fresh. And, you're just moving on to new things, new places. So it's not that you don't ever want to talk to them again. It's not that you don't like them. You just want to keep on feeling this new, fresh feeling. I hope that makes sense. You just want to keep on moving forwards, not backwards. So the next card you have for your present is the Chariot. So yeah, obviously this is another very, very obvious moving forwards card. So yeah, you're moving forwards again. And I'm also seeing a decision. There's a decision here that you kind of knew that you had to make, or that you had to make, I should say. And this is some kind of practical decision that you have to do. There's also a lot of emotion around it. I think every decision that you make as an Aries, even if it's a practical decision, there's still a lot of emotion around it. You always have very passionate feelings, whether they're positive, negative, or whatever else. You have very strong feelings toward things. So even a little decision about, will I go here or there? Will I go to this shop or this restaurant or that one? You have a lot of emotion around those decisions. It sounds silly, but you do. You really do. So yeah, you might be feeling quite anxious about this decision. And I'm seeing that there are a lot of steps that you need to take to make this decision. It's not like one step and you're done. It's like it has many little steps, many different little things around this decision. And I think, yeah, I just think this might have been this was in your last reading. I'm just remembering. This decision was in your last reading, so obviously you haven't made this yet. And yeah, this was bothering you, and it still is. It's bothering you emotionally. And yeah, once you've made this decision, once this is over, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to feel so relieved. Now, you will do this. Don't think you'll never be able to do this. You might be thinking, oh, it's so huge. It's such a big mountain. It has so many moving parts in it. I just don't know what to do first. I don't know what to do. It's so hard. I don't think I'll ever do this. Don't feel like that, because I'm seeing that you will do this. And yeah, if this resonates and this seems really overwhelming to you, just think of it in small steps. I mean, yeah, this might sound silly, probably will sound silly to a lot of people, but you might have to break things down into tiny, tiny, tiny steps. Like, for example, pick up the phone, leave a message, Google this, research this, tiny things, move that into that room to remind me to do it. Little things like that. Now that might seem obvious, it might seem silly, but tiny steps are much easier to tackle than great big scary steps. And big scary steps are made up of tiny steps anyway. So start with a small step. You might even have to write it down and then, do each thing and then cross it off your list or something like that. You don't need to show the list to anyone. You can keep it hidden. You don't want anyone to see. It's none of anyone's business anyway. But just do that, and that will lead to where you want to go. Because when you've done this, you're going to feel so relieved. You really, really are. You're going to be, oh, it's over. I feel so much better. I'm just really seeing that. So start by taking these small steps, because that's how you have to do it anyway. Even if you want to do all this big thing at once, you would have to do all these little steps to be able to do that anyway. I hope that makes sense. And also, don't be hard on yourself, because I know Aries like things to be finished really quickly. they like things to be perfect as well. And, you can get really angry with yourself if things aren't finished right away and they aren't to a certain standard that you like. So be kind to yourself, be easy on yourself, don't be too hard on yourself. Just take the little steps, be happy with that, then do another little step, be happy with that. Don't be angry with yourself, think, oh, I should be doing better than this, I should be doing this quicker. Don't be like that. Just take one step at a time. The last card you have for your present is the Queen of Wands. Not the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords. Why did I say the Queen of Wands? I don't know why I said the Queen of Wands, the Queen of Swords. So, yeah, I love this queen. I don't know why I was calling her the Queen of Wands. She's so independent. I love that about her. She's fiercely independent. And I think I like her because she's very wise. She's been through a lot of really difficult things in her life. Some people say she's a widow. There's debate about that, but some people say that. But whatever has happened to her, she's been through a lot of bad stuff. Good stuff, bad stuff, all sorts of stuff, but she's really strong, very strong, and she likes to be on her own because she's been through this bad stuff and she doesn't want to deal with any of that again. She does not take any rubbish. She's extremely straightforward as well. She's not going to lie to you. She will never be dishonest with you. She will always be honest with you. Now, I'm seeing in this card, this is about transforming. This is about transforming yourself. There are butterflies all on her throne, beneath her, lifting her up. There are also butterflies. There are lots of different things in her crown. There are different shapes. Some people see faces facing each other. Some people see hearts. Some people see diamonds. Some people see stars. Now, if you look very closely at the yellow area or the golden area, you'll see a butterfly as well. So there's butterflies. There are butterflies in her crown as well. And so, butterflies are transforming. They come out of a cocoon and they grow and then they fly away freely. So I think that that you're going through this transformation. I think something's happening to you. I saw this at the beginning of this reading. You're transforming. You feel different. You want things in your life to be different. Now, you might not know why you feel different or how, but you just do. You feel different. You are being lifted up. You are being transformed. Things are really, really going to start changing for you. Now, they start off internally by the way you feel different. And then that manifests on the outside in your daily life, in your real life. So, yeah, I'm seeing that in the Hierophant. This process has already started. And, you might or might not have realized it yet. But I think there are some people around you who have realized it. Think about some people around you who are saying, that's not like you to say that. You're normally like that. Or that's not like you to act like that. Usually you're different. You've always been like this. You've always said that. And now you're like this. What's wrong? Why are you so different? That's why, because you're transforming. You're transforming into a better person, into the real you, into the real spiritual you. And that's going to enable you to manifest things that you want. That's what I'm seeing. Also, if you look at this queen, she has one hand up. She's welcoming the right people into her life. And she obviously has a sword in her other hand, so she's kind of lifting it up and stopping the wrong people from coming into her life. So as you transform, there's going to be some people who go along with you, who like the new you, who are happy that things are moving onwards, moving upwards for you. There are going to also be some people around you who don't like the new you, and they're not happy to see you kind of get better and improve. Lift your sword up, distance yourself between you and those people. I'm not saying you have to completely cut them out, but guard yourself against negativity. You don't need it where you're going. You do not need this where you're going. You don't need them with you. You only need people who are going to help to raise you up and who are going to support you. So, for your future, the first card you have is the Ten of Wands. So, great big burden. So I'm seeing with this decision that you have to make in the Chariot card, you will do this. You will be happy with the end result, but the end result won't be exactly as you imagined. it's going to be quite different to the way you imagined it was going to be. Now, it's going to be a good result. You're going to be happy with that result. You're going to be relieved it's over. But it's not going to be exactly how you imagined. Again, I'm seeing some parts of this are going to be a little bit rushed, actually, especially when you're toward the end of getting this done. You're going to be at the end and you're going to be like, oh, it's nearly at the end. Oh, quickly, let's just get this done. So it might not be as perfect as you would have liked either, whatever this is, but it's going to be finished. It's going to be over. That's the main thing. You're going to be so relieved. I keep on feeling this feeling of relief when you've done this. But yeah, some bits are going to be a bit rushed. But again, be kind to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Don't try and be perfect. Don't try and have everything done yesterday and perfect as well. It's impossible. Just be kind to yourself. You've done it. It's over. Be happy about that. I'm also seeing this person from the Six of Swords, this ex or whoever this is. I'm seeing they might still be trying to contact you at this time. And again, I'm seeing they're doing the same thing. They're not doing anything different. Little contact, little messages, little tiny things, maybe little things like likes on social media, that kind of thing, small things. Now, these are things you probably wouldn't even notice normally. You know, if your friend did a little like on your social media, you wouldn't even notice it. It's not a big deal, whatever. You might look at it and say, oh, that's nice or whatever, but you wouldn't read anything into it. You wouldn't make anything out of it. But this means a lot to them, these little messages. They have a lot of feeling behind them for this person. I think they have quite a heavy heart because they would really like to get together with you. They have really deep feelings. But the thing is, they look back a lot as well. They have memories. They think about memories, things you said, things you did. This is what's frustrating me about this. They're not admitting to this. They're not going to admit to you that this is how they feel. They're not admitting it to anyone. And they're probably not going to say anything to you. That's what's frustrating. If they would just say something to you, then at least you could tell them one way or the other whether you'd be interested or not, and they'd know. But they're not doing that. That's what really frustrates me about some people. The next card you have for your future is the Five of Cups. So yes, again, this person has some regrets. They're regretting things. But you don't think of them in that way. You're not worried about things that have happened way back then. You're kind of over this person. You're over all of that. You don't even dislike them. You don't like them or dislike them. You just don't feel really much at all. You're fine about them. That's about it. You don't have feelings for them. They might actually sense that you're a little bit like this. They might think that, if they ever told you how much they thought of you, what they think of you, you might come back with this kind of indifferent reply, like, oh, well, it's nothing really. And that's what they're kind of worrying about. Maybe that's why they're afraid of telling you. But being like that isn't going to do anything for them. I don't know why they're not like that. There's a bridge in this card and they'd love to go back over that bridge towards you, but they're not doing it. They're kind of sitting where they are. It's very frustrating to me why they won't do that. I don't know why. The last card you have for your future is the Two of Pentacles. So again, I'm seeing the same thing. I'm sorry I'm repeating myself. This is what I'm seeing, this person, and they're really frustrating me. There are these little text messages going backwards and forwards. Now I'm seeing you're probably answering them, but not right away. You're kind of, you're polite, you do answer them, but they're not the first thing on your mind, of course. And I'm actually seeing them waiting for you to reply. They send you a reply, they're all anxious. Oh, what are they going to say? When are they going to reply? Oh, they haven't replied yet. And you're just like, well, I'll just reply to them, when I can. It's not a big drama. I don't really think that much about it. So you're kind of a bit laid back about this because you're not thinking you don't even know this is how they feel or anything. So you're just quite, it's not your fault. But yeah, they're sitting there waiting anxiously, waiting and waiting forever, like this big infinity symbol. They're like, oh, this is taking forever. Why don't they reply to me? Now, if they just come and talk to you about how they'd feel, at least you'd be able to tell them, and then they'd be able to either move on or do whatever. They wouldn't be stuck in this kind of wheel of, thing of angst, turning around and around, worrying about you, like these two coins going up and down. They're kind of trapped in this kind of infinity going around forever. They don't need to be like that.